All right, let's get going here. So I'll call to order the meeting of March 8th, 2022 for the Water Sewer Commission. Is anybody here for the Commissioner's Public Forum? Hearing none, moving on. Paul, can you read the warrants and the payments, please?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of February 8th, 2022.
Can I get a second for that?
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call vote, Peter.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Next, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of February 22nd, 2022.
Okay, second, Kim.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, Peter.
All right, Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Next, I'd like to make a motion to approve the following warrants. Toshiba for quarterly copier billing, $27.08. Veolia.
You missed the first line.
Oh, and commissioner salaries, $500. Thank you, Sue. And the next 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 here from Veolia. The first one being wiring the new plant water pump, $968.21. The next one is pump out clarifier, $1,360. Next, we have cleaning of North Sturbridge Pump Station, $375. And next, replacing Stevens Park dialer, $643.80. Next, pumping out the Comat clarifier number 1, $375. And the Comag receptacle install, $321.09. And alkalinity analyze electrical connections, $1,031.85. And the last one from Veolia, check valve repair it, 211 Sunset, $300. Next, we have Osterman Propane, $1,623.47. And McClure Engineering for waterline construction, $1,310. Next, for our quarterly billing, we have Boston Globe, $392.16. And for electricity, the town of Oxford, $7,323.25. And Woodard and Curran for SCADA, $80,456. And lastly, WB Mason, $34.05. All of this totals $97,041.77.
Can I get a second?
And I will second that.
Any discussion? I have a question. Peter, the check valve repair at 211 300.
That was the cover slim pumping up the manhole.
Okay. Roll call vote.
All right, Mr. Ridlack,
Aye.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
All right, so Mr. Chair, as you can see, Mr. Jennings and Mr. Ridlack have joined, so we have a full board.
Fantastic. I'm getting a bad echo. Is anybody else getting that?
Yeah, I'm getting that back feed as well.
As am I.
I can't tell where it's coming from.
All right, want to go on to the 635 Veolia appointment.
So tonight we'll be covering MOR for the month of January 2022. And during the month, the plant was staffed by myself and Patrick Adams resigned his position in January, returning to the solar industry. So carrying on, health and safety. We completed all the safety checklists, hand sanitizer, antibacterial wipes were all available. January 3rd, the monthly inspection for Veolia was completed. While Patrick was here, he had COVID-19, so he missed the first week. And then Dylan had COVID-19 the week after, so we were pretty short-handed during January. The training for the month, we trained on HAZCOM, what you need to know. And then we also did emergency preparedness and response. Those were both hosted on the VNA website, so it was all online. Compliance for the month of January, there were no violations to report. The DMR was entered into CDX and mailed on February 14th. Operations and maintenance activities. Starting in January, Woodard and Curran and LaFleur Electric were on site for the SCADA project. Between both companies, they spent more than 15 days on site during the month. They were here at least 3 to 4 days a week. There was a couple of days we worked in. One night we worked until 9 p.m. The next night we worked till 11 p.m. So once they started cutting over the old PLCs, we couldn't just leave it where it was. It had to be finished. And that's why we were here late a couple of days. By the end of the month of January, the plant had a brand new SCADA computer up and running. All the PLCs had been changed. A major portion of the rewire was done. And next month we'll cover the finish of it. Renata Electric was here. They installed and programmed a new VFD for one of the Comag mixers. And speaking with him and the electrician from LaFleur Electric, they said the life expectancy of these VFDs is about 8 years. There's 18 of them in Comag, and we've recently changed 5. So we should probably think about getting some spares on the shelf. They're a couple of $1,000s a piece, but they fail, and when they fail, there's no redundancy. Veolia's global report was completed and submitted during the month of January, and this compiles data points about the samples collected throughout the year, process equipment flows, and many other items. Wright Pierce began requesting more data for the engineering study. They requested 3 years worth of operational data and sampling results. We supplied all that to them as needed. The new town truck was delivered in January, nice and green. Looks good, we like it. The old town truck was delivered to the highway department for their use. Peter helped us get some new safety equipment with a grant. It's a confined space entry kit. It included a 4 gas detector, a tripod, a blower, a winch harness, and 2 different tethers. So we got a new plastic storage shed to store all these nice new pots in. Keep it clean. So in the plant, you know, just splashes occasionally and spiders and stuff. And this will just keep it really clean. So it'll be nice to use. As far as pump station activities go, the daily rounds for the MTA 5 East North Main were all completed. We did weekly alarm testing at all the pump stations, and the monthly generator checks were completed. Sludge hauling, we hauled 6 loads of sludge to Cranston for disposal. Chemicals received, we got 4 275-gallon totes of sodium hydroxide, and we got 8 55-pound bags of polymer. Grinder pump calls, there was only 1 call for a grinder pump, and it wasn't even a grinder pump issue. On January 26th, we get called out to 165 Sunset, and they had a strong odor of sewage. And we checked the vent. The vent was clear. We popped the top of the tank. The level was right where it should have been. There was nothing wrong with our system. And it was actually a week after this, he found a leak inside the house. So he had a plumber take care of that. Dig safes in the month of January, there were 60 requests received. And that concludes the MOR for the month of January. Anybody have questions?
Vinny, the 6 loads of sludge that were hauled, is that high or is that low or is that average?
Last year we did 8 loads every month. So this year we're tracking a little lower. We're trying to maintain that budget we projected. And I don't know if you guys got it in your packet, but I did supply a budget to show if we're on track or not for sludge and chemicals.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, we're pretty much right on track where we should be with our sludge for the year.
Okay. What was my other question? That VFD for the Comag mixer.
Yep.
How do we go about getting one of those on the shelf? Is that something that
We
you
just
guys
ordered through Veolia. So at the time of this mixer failure, I ordered two. Pete recommended getting a spare.
Yep.
So I did order two of them, and we used one for this project, and I used another one this week. So that spare one's already been consumed in less than a month.
Okay.
So I guess, Mr. Chair, I'd recommend that if the commission has no objection, that we just keep a standard 2 extra VFDs on the shelf.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. You need a motion for that?
Probably be better to have one, yes. That way there, as we replace them, you won't be questioning where the funds, I mean, we have funds available, so that shouldn't be a problem. But a motion would be great.
I'll make a motion. We order the 2 extra. And I'll second that.
Any more discussion about that?
There's actually 2 different sizes that we have. Would it be all right if we got 2 of each size?
How many are in that thing? Did you say 18 of them?
There's 18 of them.
I mean, are there 9 of each size?
No, there's more of the smaller ones. So there's a 40 and a 400 series. And we have more of the smaller ones.
I'll make a motion that we're all in my motion to include 2 of each. And I'll second that as well.
Roll call vote, Peter.
Mr. Ridlack.
Aye.
Mr. Gagner.
Aye.
Mr. Coleman. Mr.
Aye.
Mr. Jennings.
Aye.
And Mr. Campbell.
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? MOR. All right, hearing none. Vinny, do you want to talk about the data? Or, nope, that's not this meeting, right? Hello?
I don't think so. I
No.
don't have anything ready for
Yeah,
this.
so I just wanted to make comment. I went, I was in the plant the other day and Vinny showed me the new computers and whatnot. Very impressive at the amount of work that went into that project. So thanks for helping us get that done.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, 6:50 meeting. We're a little early.
Mr. Chair, John Oley's here, if he can give a quick update about the engineering study that's going on.
Yeah, fantastic.
Just, I sent to him, John, I sent everyone the packet you sent me yesterday, so I'm not sure if they had time to review that or not. But if you can just give them kind of a quick update as to, I guess, where we're at with the engineering study and what we can expect in the next couple of months, that would be great.
Perfect. Yeah, no problem, Peter. So it was like, as Vinny described in his monthly report, both in January and February, it was all about data collection and data analyzation. You'll see in the top portion of that report. They are pretty much completed as of today, that the review of all the available data, including O&M manuals, the headworks loading analysis we did, as well as information regarding the Treehouse Brewery time that we brought that on, analysis we did there, as well as discharge flow and loads from the MTAs. They also reviewed the code requirements for inside the building as we're thinking about establishing a chemical storage facility within that room. So it was a pretty busy review period. Glad to say that's over. I'm sure Vinny's tired of getting all the requests for information. The next step is, we do have Peter tomorrow scheduled, plan to meet with the engineers and with you and whomever else to discuss future loading. I know that was part of the activity that we wanted to make part of this analysis, which was understanding what the potential future concerns and potential loads might include, although, we can't predict 100%, but just get an idea of what's already in the pipeline and what might be potentially coming down the road. So that meeting is scheduled for tomorrow. Following that, the next big milestone will be on March 21st, where Wright Pierce will be submitting for our review a technical draft memo, which will be a summary of all the activities that they've done in a draft form, summarizing, where the plant's at, where it potentially could go, and then what recommendations they might be suggesting. So that's the next milestone, which will occur on March 21st. Working towards a workshop with the town on April 1st, which will discuss all the alternatives that are going to be provided by the engineer to the headworks, screening and grit, the ammonia removal alternatives, as well as the chemical storage area. So again, I guess I could just summarize by saying that pretty much all the data analytics have been completed. And after tomorrow's meeting, we should expect a technical draft memo within 2 weeks.
What time is that meeting at tomorrow, John?
I beg your pardon, sir.
What time is that meeting at tomorrow?
1:30.
1:30, is it 1:30? Pete? Yeah, it's at the facility.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
No. So, Mr. Chair, my anticipation is tomorrow during that meeting, when we start talking about anticipated growth, the two big warehouses are already coming and approved. So I would like to try and have Veolia focus on ways for us to be able to accommodate Treehouse with additional capacity, so that as their requests come in, we're not so under the gun to be able to say yes. And then also make sure that as the Route 20 starts to get developed with possible commercial development or residential or multifamily development, we're ready to be able to say yes for them to connect as well. So that's going to be my focus tomorrow as we talk about possible future growth and where I guess John's team should focus the rest of that portion of the study. If anybody has anything different or anything else they'd like to add, let me know, and I can add that into our discussion tomorrow. Okay, great. If anyone is around, that meeting is at 1:30 tomorrow. As long as we don't have more than 2 members there, you guys are more than welcome to stop by and participate if you like.
I'm gonna probably stop by. So I just don't know if anybody else is interested in coming by, but I'd like to be there.
Sure. Mr. Jennings and Mr. Ridlack, I did mute both of you because we're getting that feedback. So if you do want to, I guess, comment, you're going to have to unmute yourselves because I can't unmute from my side.
Has the echo decreased, Peter, since muting us?
Yes,
I think
did.
it. I mean, it doesn't appear to be on my end, but.
No. Actually, Mr. Ridlack unmuted himself as well, and we seem to be okay.
Okay.
So.
I am most likely not able to attend tomorrow myself, just so you guys know.
I also am unable to attend.
All right. Well, that works out pretty good then. So I'll be there tomorrow at 1:30.
Okay. Great. Thank you, John. Thank you, Vinny. Unless anyone has any more questions for them.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Pete.
All right.
Moving on to our 6:50 appointment with Treehouse. Luke, are you on the line?
Yes, Luke is on the Zoom meeting to give us an update on the pre-treatment system and where that's at.
How you doing, everybody? Thank you for having me again.
You bet. So, yep, Luke, the floor is yours if you want to just give us an update on where that pretreatment system is at and kind of when we can expect to see that being operational.
Yeah, so I know, Peter, last time we spoke, I asked Cambrian to directly contact you, and I don't know if I know last I spoke with you, they still have not. Do you have any?
I have not received any updates from Cambrian
Still
as
no
to
updates.
status of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Cambrian is not in the best of terms with us right now. They, unfortunately promised us the world and have fallen very short on what they've actually given us. Yeah. So since I guess we spoke on February 8th, we have been trying to dig into the process and figure out what the increased VODs are on our end. We've kind of also been looking into some different technologies and to treat our water. We want to kind of take our time with this because we want to figure out a system that's going to be good for us, or not for next year, but for the next 10 years, 15 years. So it's a little bit tough making these decisions quickly. So one of the decisions that we have to make, I guess within this upcoming next months, one of the choices on the table for us is to truck 100% off-site. As of right now, that economically looks it's much better than what it cost us in wastewater last year. We obviously, that's not what we want to do. We want to work with you guys and try to figure out the best solution on treating our water. But I think what really is economically doesn't make sense to us is the actual surcharge on the BOD that we pay. I don't know if the town of Charlton is willing to work with us on this, but we did pay in 2021. We paid in excess of $500,000 to the town of Charlton, which is a very significant number for us. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Peter, and the board.
So my thoughts are this: we would love to take all your waste.
Yeah,
our plant can't handle it.
Yep.
We'll be over our limits come summertime, and we can't put ourselves in that position.
Yep, that's understood.
So I think what I would like to do is roll you guys back to the 10,000 gallons a day. And then I think I'd like to set up a meeting with you guys and set up a game plan for the future.
Yep.
Through the chair, if I might.
Go ahead, Russ.
Yeah, I echo what Dave is saying. And when we first talked about increasing flow with you guys, I think we said the wintertime is a perfect opportunity for you guys and the town to work with you while we're trying to make sure that you guys can dial it back on your end, get things under control, and make it so that coming into the summer, there's not going to be any issue when you know that our plant is at max capacity for certain items. Now, moving towards summer, we don't want to wind up there and find out that we're in a bad position because of being behind in the schedule of getting your stuff in order. So I would echo what Dave said and say, let's roll it back to the 10,000 and let's work with you guys and talk to you guys about what you can do try and get that number down so that you are helping us out and working with us so that we don't violate any thresholds. Because that's what's most important to all of us. And I think you guys knew that going into the deal.
That we knew what? Sorry, I don't quite understand what you're saying.
Well, that you were under a probationary period and you had to conform to certain things. And that's
Yes,
why
for the 15, yep, for the 15,000 gallons a day.
Yeah, but if it didn't work out, we couldn't continue to allow you to put that much flow through because of the load on the system going into the summertime.
Yeah, that's understood.
Do you have a certain plan in mind? Did you come tonight and say, well, this is what works for us, and I think that this is how we could work with the town to come out with a reasonable solution? Is there something you guys have in mind?
I mean, we like I said, we have multiple possibilities, and like I said, one of the possibilities is that we truck 100% and not have to worry about what our BOD is. If the plant at the end of the day really can't handle what we are sending out to create the best product that we can, then that we may just have to truck everything offsite.
And I think that's a business decision that you guys would obviously have to make. Like I said, what I would like to see happen tonight, Luke, is to roll you guys back to the 10,000, continue as we are. You guys will have to truck off site, whatever obviously extra over 10,000 there is. And I'd like to get together with you guys in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and sit down and have a round table and figure out the best solution for everybody, you guys and us.
Yep. Yeah, we're definitely willing to work with you guys. We don't want to. We want to not make bad with anybody in the town. We want to be here and we want to stay here. It's just we're at a rock.
It's expensive and it's a big cost. And we realize that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's sit down and let's try to figure out a game plan so we can all get this situation resolved. Again, not only for now, but for the future, the next 15 years.
Yep.
So Peter, how do we, I guess, can I get a motion from somebody to roll back to the 10,000 gallons, and then I guess we can have a discussion about it.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
I'd recommend that the motion be that the $10,000 be for their the 10,000 gallons per day be for their process waste. Any of their sanitary waste can be above and beyond that, because that really doesn't have the high levels of BOD.
Sure.
And then we can go ahead and meet with, like you said, meet with Treehouse in the next couple of weeks and see if we can create a game plan that works for everybody.
I'll make a motion as such.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any more discussion?
Yeah, I would like to just again ask Luke, is this something you guys are willing to do within the next couple of weeks, Luke? Sit down and throw the ball around with us so that we can come out with some kind of solution moving forward. And hopefully in the meantime, like I said, you can do what you need to do to make it work. And is that a reasonable solution to you guys in your?
Yeah, I'm willing to sit down with you guys whenever you would like to make discussions about this.
Okay.
May not have solid answers for you right away. I think this is going to be a long-term decision that's on what's going to actually work for us. I guess I have a question for you guys is will the plant ever be able to handle elevated BODs? I know you guys are always updating and adding processes, but.
So I think this is what we need to talk about at our roundtable meeting, Luke.
Okay.
So I guess anything's possible, right?
Mhm.
We just need to come together and figure it out.
Okay.
So let's meet sooner than later. I'm sure you guys want to try to figure something out. And I mean, I think we do too.
Mhm.
Again, it's not that we're trying not to be business friendly and we want to take all your wastewater. It's just a matter of the plant can't handle it.
Yep. That's
So
understood. And I guess my only other question is there wiggle room in that BOD surcharge? I mean, I know we originally paid $1 per pound, and then that went up to $3.58 per pound, which is a significant jump.
So you guys, when you first came on board with your memorandum of agreement, you got a reduced charge of 1 gallon of $1 per pound,
Mhm.
while everybody else in the system was paying more than that, I believe, for the first year or two. And then
Okay.
after that, you were brought up to regular price, just like everybody else. So
So-
it's hard to consider giving the one customer who is contributing the highest levels of BOD a discount when that high level of BOD is what's restricting us from saying yes to future growth right now.
Mhm.
Because of our ability to treat anything, because of our ability to treat the ammonia and the BOD. So much like the MTA coming in and asking for a discount in the ammonia surcharge because they send us high levels of ammonia, I'm not sure it's something that the commission's really going to be able to consider.
Mhm.
I think as far as working with Treehouse, and again, like they've said, we can definitely have a lot of these, I guess, idea generations when we meet, but your BOD concentrations vary by hundreds of percents. It's not like it's a 10% increase week to week or a decrease. It's, you know, you're at 10,000 one week, 2,000 the next, 12,000 the next. So your surcharge is directly related to the strength of that BOD.
Yep.
Where if you were consistently at 3,000, your surcharge would have been a third of what it was. You know what I mean? So you can directly control the amount of your surcharge based on the strength of the waste that you give us. And you must do something differently from the weeks where it's higher in the weeks that it's lower. So again, I think to ask us to consider giving a discount surcharge rate, you know, the commission might disagree, but I think we need to have our initial meeting first. And if that's still a request, you can, you can kind of put that forward to the commission in writing, and they can formally act on it if that's where we get to.
Okay. But just to be clear, the 358 is across the board. That's a rate.
Correct. That is our advertised rate. That is what the MTA pays, Carl Storrs pays, Treehouse pays. You do not pay a higher surcharge rate than anybody else.
Understood. Thank you.
all right, roll call vote, Peter.
Okay, Mr. Ridlack,
Aye.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye. Luke, can you please reach out to Peter and set that meeting up at your convenience?
Yeah, definitely will.
Thank you.
All right. Great. Thank you, Luke.
All right, moving on. Nothing else on the agenda tonight, right? I came downstairs because my kids were acting up, so I came downstairs. I don't have my paperwork with me.
No, there's one more quick discussion about rates.
Okay, yes, the rates, that's right.
So, as requested, I've been reviewing the sewer rates. The last increase we have done was a 9% increase in 2017. I tried to come up with a way to do a tiered rate structure, but it's the only way to really implement that. It would end up giving the lower end users a discount, while the higher amount users paid quite a bit more. So I think just to keep things consistent and with everything that's going on, I think a 2% increase to consider for FY23 that would be effective on July 1st is probably the best way to go, or at least to consider. If that's something the board wants to consider, we can set up a sewer rate hearing for one of our next meetings to do that, so we can have that formal sewer rate increase hearing and then have that discussion, and then the board can vote on whether or not to implement that. If the board has no interest in doing any increases at this time, then we can kind of stop right here.
So Pete, can you just quick tell me, I've never been through the process of a rate hike before. When you talk about getting together, what do you need to advertise it? What needs to happen?
So it'll be advertised as a traditional public hearing. So we'll do a 2-week notice in the paper, let the people know that we are going to be having a sewer rate hearing. You as chair will open that hearing. You'll read through the notice. Then you will go ahead and take testimony, but hear discussion from board members, from residents who were there, and anyone else who wants to talk on it. After that, you will close the public hearing, and then no more people from the public can contribute, and the board will discuss any final points and then make a motion of whether or not to approve to implement the increase or not. Kind of like a formal public, like a planning board public hearing.
Paul, you've been here for a long time. What's your thoughts?
Well, we got a sewer bill going to be ending at the end of March. And so that bill will probably be mailed out toward the end of April. And if we decide to have this increase, that'd be a good time to put a letter in with that bill stating the increase. So people, when July comes, won't be surprised, and probably give a certain length of time for them to respond as well. I don't think what you're asking is too much. Would you say 2%, Peter?
Yeah, 2%, pretty small.
I think we've got to keep up with this over time, because the last one was 9%, but that had been probably 9 or 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and if you keep with it a couple percent here and there, then you don't have these large percentage rates later on.
Right. And we have a little bit of money in the bank, but these upgrades and whatnot are expensive things. It's not like they cost $50. So, Russ,
Through the chair, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
We all know that our operating expenses have increased over the past couple of years anyways. And just with all increases across the board, everything costs more. We have to do this at this point in time. Otherwise, like Paul is saying, we're going to find ourselves in a position where maybe 2 years from now, we have to say to everybody, hey, we need to go up 12%.
Right.
And, we're in a big shortfall. So 2%, I don't think anyone out there with the public is going to say that that's unreasonable or unwarranted. And I like giving notice as early as possible in these situations. So if we could include a mailer in the bills, I don't know if that's possible because our billing is done outside of the office. But if we could do that, then that would be a great way to sort of notify people it needs to pay in a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. And maybe if they can't put a notice on it, Peter, isn't there a memo or a note section in the bill? Maybe they can put it there.
Yep.
Type it into it.
Yeah, Sue can do that.
Any more discussion about this? You need a motion, I'm assuming, Peter, right?
No. I'll just go ahead and set up the, we'll go ahead and get the wheels in motion to set up that public hearing, probably for the first meeting in May. And again, these new rates aren't going to take effect until July 1.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can have the hearing. I guess if we have the hearing in May, we won't be able to let people know on that April sewer bill. Maybe we'll do it in April. Right, Sue? If we have the hearing in our meeting in April, that should give us enough time to get it in that billing for our beginning of May reads, correct? Yeah.
So you're gonna read in April, bills will go out in May, but,
Oh, yeah.
and then that's gonna cover January, February, and March. So when the prices become effective July 1, they're not gonna get those bills until November.
Right.
Okay.
Number.
Right.
It'll be July, August, September. By the time we read in October, the bills won't go up till the middle of November.
be November.
So yeah, so either way, whether we do in April or May, March, April or May, there'll still be plenty of time for them to have notice before they see that increase.
Any old business? Oh. Somebody make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
There you go.
Second.
Go ahead, roll call vote, Peter.
Mr. Ridlack,
Aye.
Mr. Gagner,
Aye.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Great. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Nice
Bye,
seeing
guys.
you.
Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Night, everyone.
Going.